It's gotten really bad in the last like 2 years, I would say, but it's so hard to come across like any content creators that are like genuine and relatable, and they just want to create and share for the sake of it, for like just like to help out other people or for the enjoyment of other people, you know? And the reason I say that is because like almost every content and video I see like on YouTube, on Instagram, on Telegram, or whatever other social media, it's like all these people are doing is like they're trying to sell something. And it's like the way people present themselves in front of the camera has changed a lot. There's like way more ego, like way more ego. Like you look at videos from 5 years ago, and then you look at videos that are coming out like today, it's just like the ego is crazy. Like people, they're like shouting at the camera. They're like, hey, listen to me, look at me. And they speak as if they figured everything out and that they know everything. And then at the end of the video, which is like the worst part of it all, is like, you have to listen to me and you have to believe me and you have to buy my course. And the reason why what I'm saying is correct, well, you'll only find out if you buy my product or buy my course. And it's like everything is about selling something, and it's so disappointing to see. And I understand we're like in this age of commerce. You know, everything has a monetary value slapped to it. You know, they talked about Yuval Noah Harari. He said that, you know, the reason why they want to have the microchips and the reason why that they want to have the social credit and monitor and surveil everything is so they can attach and slap a monetary value to everything, to every aspect of life. And then you have these supposed truthers that are like gatekeeping knowledge, and that they're gatekeeping a lot of things behind a massive paywall. And I understand, you know, again, we live in an age of commerce, like you need the money to survive, but it's like every video is an ad. You know what I mean? It's like every video you see is an advertisement, and it's like, that is not acceptable. And it's really disappointing to see. And then it kind of got me thinking on how much the internet and social interactions have changed over the last couple decades. I watched this really fascinating documentary about how like the internet has changed with the release of like this AI generated content. And it's like we're at a stage for like, you know, like you can actually measure this stuff, but we're at a stage where like over half the internet is like AI bots. And I know this dead internet theory has been circling around for like the last 15 years. But I really feel like it's like it is so hard to come across other human beings on the internet, which is crazy, because I remember like 10, 15 years ago, like you Google search something, you come across an HTML website that somebody obviously coded and made by himself, and then you find forums which is only full of like human beings and talking and interacting with each other. So it's when you're on the internet, you're like stepping into this web, like this pool of other humans kind of linked up. It's like, you know, they used to call it the Ethernet back then. And it was representative of like the ether, like this kind of connected consciousness. But now it's like half of that has been replaced by bots, and then they've like removed so much personality and design from the internet, where it's like every website you come across is like some kind of Squarespace or WordSpace fucking gay ass bullshit website. And there's no forum posts. There's no way to interact with other people. So it's like, where are the people, you know? There's no human input on the internet anymore. And it's crazy, because it's like everybody's on the internet. So it's like, where are all these billions of people on the internet? It's like you can't come across them. And it's like every video you come across, every post or viral topic that's happening, you look at the comments and it's like 80% of this is like, it could be AI. And that's the thing, you don't even know. And then it kind of got me thinking, it's like, what the hell is going on here? Like, what is this crazy push towards like roboticizing the entire internet and just removing the human element out of it? And it's like, I think the age of the internet is kind of coming towards an end. I do think that they've already told you what they want to do with the internet in like Black Mirror, where it's like, there's just like no human interaction. Everything is an advertisement. Everything is about money. And it's like, you're just completely dopamine addicted slave to like this super like fast, high-paced content, and you're just like a complete slave to it all, and you're just like isolated in a box, consuming, and it's like that's just what they want for people in the end. And I think that's a sign that, you know, like they kind of want you to like, hey, this age, this short time period that we've had of free-flowing information, I think it's gonna come to an end. And we see it like, because it's like whenever something happens, like one of these major staged events, like whether it be like the fires in Maui or like other like natural or unnatural disasters or wars, it's like when these events first go viral, there's a lot of information and content, and it's like the whole entire internet, like the consciousness of the people, it explodes with information, and there's like leaks, there's like these all these videos and information and documents and court orders and stuff like that, and then like 6 months later, gone, completely deleted. Like you can't find it anywhere. And it's like the internet is creating, or rather I should say the internet is destroying as fast as it can create. So when you come across information or a video, or like this video that you really liked, it's like unless you save that, like chances are like that thing is going to be wiped forever, and it's just going to be gone. And it's like this moment is like ephemeral, like it just comes and goes. And I think it's like a total overload, total overstimulation, and the human mind and the body cannot cope with all that processing. And it kind of got me thinking on like all like this truther stuff as well, you know, because I feel like we're coming towards like this, quite like this rift or like this separation of like an awakening. And I don't think it's going to happen like a bang, which is like a lot of people, they'll like try to like gaslight you and tell you this bullshit where it's like, hey, like on this day, like, you know, the energies are going to shift and there's going to be a mass conscious awakening. It's like, no, man, like it doesn't work like that. It's gradual. It's always been gradual. But like when it comes to all this truther stuff about like, you know, alternative history, like True Earth, or what people should eat, and like the medical butchering, the disasters that they've inflicted onto people, all the trauma, like MK Ultra, the elite and stuff like that. It's like all this information is coming out, but I think it's going to be deleted. And it's like, you know, like they gave you, it's like, I feel like it's like they're giving you like a last chance to wake the hell up, to like realize like what's going on here. And I think they make it really obvious. It's like, you don't even have to be like fully like aware, like you just have to be partially like skeptical and like smart enough to recognize patterns, and it's like you see it all around you. And I don't think they're hiding it, and they're not being discreet about it anymore, which is what they used to do in the past. So there's like a big disclosure happening, and I think it's like, I think they're sending this message where it's like, you gotta make a choice. Like, you gotta decide to get out the matrix, get out the system, because it's gonna be brutal. It's gonna be like exactly how they described it in those dystopian films. Or you can stay, and you'll know what's coming, right? And that's something I want to do with my videos as well. It's like, I don't want to sell anything. I don't want to put like donations in my description or anything. It's like, I want this stuff to be free, and I want this to be like kind of content that encourages discussion, because I feel like we're losing that kind of humanness, that kind of like, you know, that connectedness, that kind of relatability when it comes to a lot of these content creators. Like, I just can't stand watching videos when you have some guy like just like with his camera like right at his face, and he's like, hey, like this is exactly what happened, this is what I think, if you don't do this you're wrong and a slave, and it's like, I'm the best, I'm awakened, blah blah blah, screaming at the camera. Like, I can't stand that. I can't watch it. And 99% of the time, the people who make those kinds of videos, they're really young people, and I appreciate it. Like, I do, because it's like you have that energy, you have that passion, but it's a little bit misguided, and I think it's a bit disingenuine. So let's like kind of like, you know, still be curious and still be mindful and still be like aware that, you know, in the light of new information, it's like I can change my mind on a lot of things. It's like, you know, I used to be really into like certain aspects of diet. I used to be really into certain aspects of like, you know, like eating healthy, like with raw meat and stuff. But then in the light of new information, I found out that like actually a lot of my previous knowledge was wrong. And I have to accept that so I can give myself a chance to grow. Another thing I want to talk about with like this development in AI and robots and bots on the internet is like, I remember when I was in school, like in middle school, high school, we used to have class debates about like, should robots be given human rights? And I remember like in like 2014 and stuff, that was a pretty big topic, like should robots be given rights? And I was like, that is such a stupid idea. It's like, how can you give rights to a robot? It's not even living. And like, secondly, like robots are your slave, you know? Robots are a tool to aid in human tasks or to make our lives more convenient and easy. Like, the purpose of a robot is to be a slave, you know? So it's like, why would you want to give rights to a robot? That makes absolutely no sense. And I couldn't wrap my head around the entire argument. But I think the reason why there was like this mass transmission of this notion that, hey, we should have this debate, it's like a global phenomenon. Should robots have rights, right? This was really big in like 2015, 2014. And I never understood it. But now, right, with like AI and stuff like that and how realistic they can make this AI content and humans appear, it's like, oh fuck, now I get it. Like they're really blurring the line between real and fake. And then it was like, and it's like, it's clear that this was always the plan. This was always the agenda. They always wanted to release this AI to blur the lines between fiction and reality. Like, if you can't even distinguish that, like, it'll drive you crazy. And then it got me thinking, it's like, this is an agenda that's been in place for over 100 years. Like, we have, like Metropolis and just like, you know, like all like these 60s films about AI robots taking over and stuff like that. And like, I was thinking, it was like, you know, they've been having like this content of like AI robots, or like a human protagonist falling in love with like an AI robot because they can't really distinguish the robot from another human, because like their responses, the robot's responses, they seem so human. They seem so real. But it's not, but it's a copy. Like, they can't create, they can't think, they can only relay, they can only recite. But it's like, I can see it now. I can see why some people would think it's like, if you can't distinguish between a robot and a real human being, it's almost like you feel obligated to give them rights. And I think it's like, where the hell is this heading, you know, in the long term? Like, where are we heading where it's like, where there's like this marriage between fiction and reality, this robots and human beings? And it's like, I know there have been theories that they're trying to essentially, like, once again, like, in like this new age, it's like returning to source, you know? There was like a One Piece film about it, the latest one, I watched it, where it's like you leave, it's like the human body is not necessary anymore. It's like, it's only the consciousness, and they want to like reconnect consciousness. I think Alan Watts talked about it as well, where it's like, everything is about returning to source. I'm not really sure, but what I do know is that all like this interference with AI and humans, and like just like the scrambling of information, like it does concern me quite a lot. And like, it kind of gets me thinking. It's like, I feel like I feel more pressured when I think about it to sort of reconnect with other human beings and, you know, like do things that are relatable and just kind of start talking to people again and start getting curious and asking people like, hey, can you share me your knowledge, and learning that way again. Because it's like, I don't want to learn from robots and I don't want to learn from AI. I want to learn from real people, and I want to keep things real while we are experiencing this, because it's like that age-old conundrum. It's like the Matrix. It's like, you know, when you're plugged into the Matrix, it's like, it's not real, right? And once you find out it's not real, you can't help but want to find what is real. Is everything they do a push to get you to find out what is real? Because if they flood the mind space with so much AI generated crap and robots and bots and non-human interaction, we're going to hit a breaking point where we're going to be so desperate that we're going to do whatever it takes to find that human interaction, find that human relatability and connectedness. And maybe in that journey, some of us will find out who we are again and find out what's real about this world. I never thought about it that way, but I just thought about it right now. That's pretty interesting. Anyways, that's all I have to really say for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and let me know what you guys think, and yeah, I'll see you guys later.